So when someone sees our surname, they're like, hold on, who reads? That's so Lebanese. How? Please explain.
Okay.
Pag Pinoy, it's more they're very excited eh. Parang, oh my gosh, Pinoy ka! Paano?
Hello, Mamsir. Hello, Mamsir. Ayan, welcome to another episode of the Hellomamsir Show. Diyos ko po, ako po ang iyong paboritong tito. Tito, Epi. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Ayan.
Iniintay kong
Yun nga,
taas mo
sorry. Na-excite ako eh.
Tita Luis po.
Yeah.
Tita Jaja.
Tita Tin.
Yun.
And yan, for today's episode, medyo may
Uy.
extra tayo.
English ka.
Yeah, and for today's episode, we have a very special, special guest.
Yep.
Very special.
My name is Jacob Alexander Maryland.
Yeah.
Oh, he already introduced himself.
Yes. Very interesting. Yeah. Jacob, say hi to our Hello Mamsir audience.
Mamsir.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Hi, my
DJ.
name is DJ.
Yan.
Oh, so cute.
Kanino kang kapatid?
Bakit ka nawawala dito?
Ayan. So for today's episode,
Bakit ba nating guess?
ayan, may reason bakit tayo nandito na may mga, very young guest.
Yes, very young and handsome.
Yan.
Yes.
Ang dali makarelate, ano?
Oh.
Para pares lang edad na.
Oh, 18. Mga ka-18 years old.
Oh, sakto sa atin.
Ka-millennials.
Hindi
Ay,
lumalayo.
hindi nga millennial, Gen Z.
Gen Z ba?
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Are you Gen Z?
I think last batch of
Okay.
Gen Z.
Parang edge ng Gen Z.
ng
Ah, okay.
millennial, yeah.
See, we learn something new.
Yes.
We learn something new. So, ayan. For today's episode, we're going to talk about third culture kid.
Mm.
Culture.
Kasi nga, tong tatlong nasa kaliwa ko,
Ba't sila lang?
Janine,
Kasama
GJ,
ka na, ikaw din.
Janine, GJ, and Jacob are like third culture kids.
Nakakaingit naman yan. Ano ba sabihin yan?
Maki-explain.
How do you
Tito
define
Luis.
third
Yes.
culture kid?
Si
Yeah.
Luis.
Ang third culture kid, ay ang pagkakabasa ko is someone who's grown up in a culture that is different from their
Ang ganda
from their
nakapag-research. Grabe
Palakpakan.
Lord naman yan.
Hindi, ang big sabihin nito, yung
Encyclopedia.
yung mga lumaki sa ibang bansa sa Tagalog,
Yeah.
Tagalog ko. Lumaki sa ibang bansa, yung parents nila hindi taga doon sa bansa na yun.
Yes, oo.
Of their passport, I guess.
Parang
Different
of their
from
their passport.
Yeah, their nationality.
Passports.
First passport.
Yan.
Okay.
First.
Basically, parang ano to, kasi yung term ng third culture kid, may pinanggalingan to. Yung kasi nga, ang ibig sabihin, yung kaya tinawag silang third culture kid is, mag-English ba?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, for the benefit of our English-speaking
No,
guests.
because the meaning of third culture kid, basically, it means like the parents have their own culture from the birth, kung saan sila pinanganak, saan sila galing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tapos, yung second culture, yung first culture is yung parents na pinanggalingan
Parents'
nila.
culture.
Okay.
So, yung second culture is where they live. So, yung present
So, for example,
location
UAE,
nila. For
where
example,
they live.
UAE.
Yes.
Yung third culture is ito na yung nag-mix
Nag-mix na.
nag-mix na
Yan,
from
it's like-
the parents saka yung location. Kaya,
Yeah.
kaya doon ang galing yung term ng third culture.
Third culture. Oh, grabe
Galing,
naman.
ano? Siyempre.
Uwian na?
Grabe naman.
I do my homework.
Yan, grabe.
Research.
Rapid Tulpo in the house. Yeah. So yeah,
Kinakabahan na si Mr. Tulfo.
oh, kabahan ka na. Rapid Tulpo, ha? Yan. So, for today's episode nga, yan. Kasi, bakit nga ba natin pinag-usapan to? Kasi ako, apektado rin ako ng third culture kid.
Oh,
Kasi
yes.
I am a parent
Okay.
third culture kids.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're trying to raise 3 kids.
Hence
Lahat
third
sila
culture.
pinanganak dito,
Yes,
di ba?
they were
Oo.
all born here in the United Arab Emirates.
Emirates.
Yung third culture kid, it
UAE
doesn't
kids.
mean na half ka.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
pwedeng,
of course.
pwedeng parents,
Parehong Pinoy.
pwedeng
Yeah.
parehong
Yes,
Pinoy.
yes,
Like
yes.
si Epi, di ba?
Yeah.
Oo, Mami Ann.
So yung anak ko ganun din. Third culture kid
Third
din
culture
siya.
kid din
Oo.
siya.
So,
Shout out.
Dito
Shout
din
out
siya
sa mga third
pinanganak.
culture
Sa
kids.
UAE din siya
hindi sa
pinanganak.
Pinas, pero dito siya lumaki.
Oo.
From 1 year old, nandito na siya.
Oo.
So, same din.
True. Actually, madami na kasi yung brother ko din, yung nephew ko, my first ever nephew.
Yeah.
Dito din siya. Baby, 3 years old. Zachary, shout out. Kahit hindi niya ako
Yan.
pinapanood.
3 years old.
He's 3 years old now. So, dito din siya lumalaki.
third culture
So,
kid
isa
din
rin
siya.
siyang third culture kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Jacob too. Were you born here?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I wasn't born here. I was born in Sweden. I was raised there for.
Wow.
I was
Wow.
raised there for 8 years in the cold
Wow.
winters. You know.
In
Cold
Sweden.
winters.
Yeah,
cold
Okay.
winters.
And then the other 10 years I was raised in UAE. So,
Yeah.
So different kind of climates, different kind
Yeah.
of cultures overall. So yeah.
It's like Frozen in there, no?
Yes.
Frozen.
You can sing.
Anna and
Frozen.
Elsa.
The winter is coming. You know.
Yeah, winter
Exactly.
is
Game of
coming.
Thrones.
No, that's the issue with the having a parents like it's in different countries, different nationality.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
it means like your father is from.
My father's Swedish and
Yeah.
my mom is Filipino. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to Tita Aggie.
Shout out
Wow.
Shout out to the mom.
Yay.
Nasa
She's here
malayo
with
ngayon.
us.
Nasa malayo.
Sa Pinas.
Very far away.
Nasa sofa.
Okay. Shout
Yeah.
out kay Tita Agnes.
That's the main issue with having yung different nga yung magulang
Yes.
from
Yeah.
kasi yung kunwari your father is from Sweden,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's supposed to be you're staying in Sweden,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you're staying here, and then your mom is from the Philippines, but
Philippines.
Yes.
supposed to be staying in the Philippines, but you're staying here,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is not.
Yeah.
Both of your parents are not from here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like a identification crisis kind of.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what to identify myself as.
And
so.
that's
Yeah.
and there's a one question that we can ask one question for them for the third culture kid, which is
Yes.
where are you from?
Yeah, it's a
Like,
good.
how do you answer that?
How do you
Where
answer that
where
when
you from?
someone
Yeah.
asks
That's
you?
hard.
No,
Like-
because
like-
for us, for us, you can easily say, Epi, where are you from?
Kamarin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Immediately, right? What about you, Jacob?
I mean, I actually don't know because like I was raised in Sweden and then I also visit Philippines a lot because
Yeah.
my family's there as well. I visited Palawan,
Yeah.
Boracay, Cebu, Manila.
Okay.
Philippines also could be known as my hometown,
Yeah.
but then I've also lived here for 10
Yeah.
years.
For
in
10
UAE.
years, yeah.
So I don't know which one I really belong to. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
So how do you answer that then?
Would you say that you answer it? It depends on the person that you're talking to, or like for example, you're talking to a Filipino.
Yeah.
I'm Filipino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to
yeah,
identify?
Yeah, exactly.
Is
Like,
it-
if I'm
is it
talking to a
like that
Filipino,
one?
I'm like, yeah, I'm from Filipino. Like,
Yeah.
that's my hometown. But if
Yes.
I'm talking to a Swedish person, I'll be like, yeah, I've lived there. I've been
Yeah.
there. I've lived in Sweden. It's my
Could
hometown.
you say that in Swedish?
Jag bor i Sverige och det är min hem...
Whoa!
Ja,
It's like Game of Thrones.
Ta-translate ko gusto mo?
Sige, translate mo.
Gagamitin ko lang yung app.
Yeah. That's nice, yeah. It kind of like it matters na pag kinakausap mo yung tao eh. No?
Kung
It's like
sinong kausap.
it
Oo.
really does that.
Yeah.
Kung like for example, for GJ, do you do that as well? Like
Yeah, I actually
depends on
hate
the
that
person.
question
Mm.
the
You
most.
hate that question?
I hate it because it's so
Yeah.
hard to answer. Eh. Like,
Yes.
Lapit ka na sa mic.
Yeah, it's such a difficult answer to.
Yes.
It's
No,
a question to answer.
Yes.
Ano sa nasagot mo?
Depends again on the
It
person.
depends on the
Yeah,
person
kung sino
as
yung
well.
kausap ko.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a Filipino, I'd say Philippines. Actually, I always, like, most of the time I identify as Filipino. Like, most
Yes.
of the time.
Okay.
I don't know, subconsciously.
Here in the UAE or
Here in the
Here in
UAE.
the UAE.
Yeah.
Wherever I go, actually.
wherever you
Yeah,
go.
I guess it's quite different for him because he really grew up in well, my sister and I, we went to an Arabic school when we were
Yeah.
younger, and he never experienced that. So from kindergarten, he went into a Filipino school right away. So my sister and I were more exposed into the Arabic culture. We spoke, with Arabic, I don't know, children.
Okay.
But then he, on the
Yeah,
other
like-
hand, was
Right.
exposed more into
Like
the
even if I lived
Filipino.
here most
yeah.
of my life, I've been surrounded with a lot of Filipinos ever
Yeah,
since.
yeah,
So,
Mm.
yeah.
Oo.
Madami kang friends
madami,
na
yeah,
Pinoy.
Yeah.
Barkada mo
halos lahat
Pinoy.
ng friends ko.
Halos
mga
lahat.
So
Pinoy
when
talaga.
when do you say that you're Lebanese?
When I'm next to my dad.
Really? Yeah, because it matters to him that
Yeah, yeah.
I'm Lebanese. Because,
or pag
yeah.
nasa around the family from that side.
Yes.
right.
Yeah, for in Lebanon, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I always, on the other hand, always identify myself as Filipino Lebanese. Always.
Mm.
It's not just Filipino or not just Lebanese.
So how do you
Yeah.
answer the
Both.
question?
But where are you from?
Where are you from?
Where
Oh.
are you from?
When someone asks me, I always say, well, I breathe first, and then I'm like, okay, so my mom's Filipino, my dad is
Yes.
Lebanese,
Wow,
but I grew
okay.
up in Dubai. So it's always those
It's a
three.
phrase na.
It is
It's a
a phrase.
phrase,
Ano na, instead
Yeah.
of one answer.
Because at the end of the day, Dubai is my home too.
Yeah,
I've been here for
tama
like
nga,
28
oh,
years.
So whenever you
Right.
whenever you explain this to anyone who asks you, it's like, oh, we're already close. I know a lot about you.
Exactly.
Parang ang
That's a
dami
good-
ng
yeah.
information.
That's a
Yeah.
like a good intro to a friendship or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I know a lot about Janine in 5
Yeah.
minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
That's
how
nice.
about you? Where are you from? But clearly they're
Yeah.
from one nationality only. So
Oo nga.
they're like, okay, not as interesting as you, but I'm from, and then
Wow.
the conversation
Oh,
starts.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And then I guess the next question is always, but where do you identify yourself more with? Is it Filipino
Oh, yes.
culture
Oh,
or
yeah.
Next
is
question.
it the Lebanese
That's a hard one.
culture?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, okay, here we go again.
Oh, yeah.
Story.
Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, how would you
Uh,
answer that?
I would say, to be honest, more towards the Filipino culture because my
Yun, no?
forming years,
Pinoy.
yeah, my forming
Hmm.
years, I was really exposed to the Filipino culture, and
Mm.
my dad, he's such a hardworking man that he wasn't really around much at home because he was at work most
Oh,
of
yeah.
the time, working two jobs in a
Mhm.
day.
Okay.
So my mom was there, my lola was there, my grandmother, and
You watch telenovelas.
yeah, because my
Oh.
grandmother
You
watched
watch
Mula sa Puso.
Marimar.
Mara Clara.
Mula sa Puso, to be exact.
Okay.
And although we visited both Lebanon and Philippines, yearly, I studied in a Filipino school from elementary to high school, and then went to a college in Philippines. So really, the forming years ko sa Pilipinas talaga.
Pinas talaga.
Yeah. Plus, yung crowd that I was around in most of the time were Filipino. So, I knew more about Filipino culture, Filipino pop culture, music, and all that.
Okay.
So, I identify more with being Filipino, but doesn't mean that I'm less
Yeah,
of a Lebanese.
yeah.
Like,
Right.
yeah. So, how about you, Jacob? Since
Yeah, how
like,
do you
you've
answer
been-
that?
That's hard, honestly,
Yeah.
because like my dad also was a hardworking man, and
Yeah.
he also wasn't
Mm.
around the house a lot.
Yeah.
However, my mom didn't really teach me Filipino. Like she was always speaking Swedish to me and English.
Oh, your mom speaks Swedish.
Yeah, my mom
That's
speaks
so
Swedish.
cool.
Yeah,
Sample
she
nga,
studied-
sample,
studied in a
I
Swedish
heard she
university.
learned in 8 months.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
know.
she was
I
fluent.
know.
Swedish. Wow.
Yeah, so she studied in a Swedish university and she learned how to speak Swedish. But also like the food like wasn't really Swedish all the time. So I have that bit of part
Yeah.
of me, the Filipino
Oh,
food,
okay.
you know, the
Yeah.
sinigang,
Yeah. Yeah.
lechon,
Yes.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's good. But I don't know. Like Philippine like being a Pinoy is still like part of my heart, but I wouldn't say it's like fully part
Yeah.
of me. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Well,
I guess.
do you feel less of a Pinoy because you don't speak Tagalog?
Kind of,
Philip?
yeah.
Yeah, really?
Yeah,
Really?
just like I don't
It's
really
like an identity crisis right now. Like
Yeah.
when you don't speak the language, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Because like when I'm in like a Pinoy barbecue, everyone's speaking
Exactly.
Tagalog, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just
especially when
here."
when you
You
go
know what
back
I
to
mean?
the Philippines because you don't speak
Yeah,
Tagalog.
yeah.
How do you converse with the locals then?
Like I just
Mm.
asked my mom like, can you translate? And she's like, okay, I got you. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. But I guess the
So,
good thing
yeah.
in the Philippines is everyone can speak English too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes,
that's
that-
true.
definitely, yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
They're
that
really good at
difficult.
English.
Yeah. So I mean, if someone came in and they weren't necessarily a native Tagalog speaker,
Mhm.
it's fine. But then
Mm.
sometimes you would feel out of the conversation because it starts English and then
Yeah.
it moves to a Tagalog,
Tagalog.
conversation.
Everyone goes
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No,
Exactly.
and sometimes we're parang jahe to or
Yes.
we're
Yeah.
shy
We're
to
shy.
to speak English in front of our peers na Tagalog. So if
Yes.
there's like or yun nga may term na nosebleed. Kasi
Yeah.
parang
Yeah.
niya ka even if like say Jacob is here but like your other friends speak Tagalog. So parang sige na nga quiet na lang ako.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mga ganun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually hindi lang siya. It's not just for you. I mean, even for my son,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't speak English, but he's somehow learning to
speak
understand.
Tagalog?
Yeah, Tagalog. I
He
mean,
doesn't speak
Because
Tagalog.
of?
Really?
yeah,
Because
he
of?
doesn't
Yeah.
speak Tagalog because of
His
me.
son.
It's my
Ah,
fault.
I thought because of
Kasalanan
Vice
niya.
Ganda.
No, because it was my fault. I mean, in my part. 'Cause
It's
I
your
didn't-
fault.
Yeah, it is my fault.
With the T.
My fault.
Yeah, it's
Traffic.
no, I didn't understand it in the beginning because he's my first kid, and I
Yeah.
thought like, okay, I'm gonna teach him how to speak English. Maybe it's a lot
It's an
faster
advantage.
because
Yes.
he's growing up here.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
realized like, okay, you can learn English in school easily,
Yeah.
and in Filipino is like it's not when you're gonna learn it. Even me and my son, I don't speak Filipino
Yeah.
Tagalog.
Actually, that's what we're trying
Right.
to
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying. You know,
ingrain to my
yeah,
daughter as
yeah.
well. Like, you have to speak in Tagalog. That's why whenever it's
At
the
home.
weekend
Mm.
or like on the weekdays as well,
Yeah.
we try to speak in Tagalog. to
And
her.
my son, he understands Filipino, Tagalog, but not fully. When everyone starts to talk like,
Right.
comfortable and fast, and then my son will be
Uh.
like, I don't know what he's saying.
Ah.
So it's
Right.
it's not just, you're from another country. Even my son he's Filipino
Yeah.
fully, but
I noticed din yan sa nephew ko.
Yeah.
Well, he's 3 years old, but he's really learning fast because he's learning from YouTube. And
Yeah.
I have an
Alright.
aunt, may tita
Influence.
ako. She stays with him at home, but she speaks Bisaya and Tagalog.
Uh-uh.
Well, she speaks mostly Tagalog to him.
Mhm.
Sometimes English, but nagtatagalog tita
Yeah,
ko, instructions. And then my 3-year-old nephew understands, but he answers in English.
English.
Like, and then he said he laughs at Tagalog words kasi he can't pronounce.
Talaga.
Tapos sabi niya, Tagalog is funny.
But they say
Funny
because
sound.
there's a study with different languages, and they always say you have to start them young because while they're young, their brains are
Yeah.
like a sponge. So like our niece, my sister's daughter, we talk to her. Well, I sometimes speak to her in Arabic. My dad does. And then her parents, her mom speaks to her in English, and her dad sometimes speaks to her in Tagalog, and my mom as well. So
Yeah.
we always try
3
to feed her
languages.
Arabic, Tagalog, and English. And she seems to
Yeah.
pick up some of the Tagalog words.
Right.
Sometimes we're conversing in Tagalog, and then you would see her like, listening and then laughing along. And we're like, oh, she understands actually. Yeah.
Actually, the issue with my son because his mom is from Ilocos. So in their house they speak Ilocano.
Okay.
And
Oh.
yeah, so my son doesn't know which is Tagalog and which is Ilocano. It's like, okay, that's confusing. That's like 4 languages.
Yeah.
So that's even worse.
So many dialects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Do you guys think that like TV and like entertainment has a big influence on
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
For
like learning like a language and stuff?
Yeah.
Because for me, like I didn't speak English at first. Honestly, when I moved
Because
to when I moved to UAE, I needed to know how to speak English because I
Yeah.
went to an international
Yeah.
school. So what I did was like I watched a lot of TV shows,
How old
Netflix.
were you when you...
When I moved to UAE, I was about 7 or 8 years old. Yeah, so I had to like read a lot of books and watch a lot of TV shows. So,
TV shows.
so now my English is alright, I think.
So probably you should learn. You should watch a Filipino.
Yeah.
Filipino movies and Filipino series maybe.
I think that would be really good.
What would
honestly.
you recommend?
Cardo,
Yeah, well,
Cardo,
Cardo.
Cardo.
Yeah.
You know the street language, you know.
Or like oldies, like Mula sa
Oldies.
Puso.
Ganyan.
How about you, GJ? Like, do you still remember when you started learning Tagalog? Because you don't necessarily speak Arabic fluently.
Yeah.
So,
No, like ever since I started studying, I think.
yeah.
So since kindergarten too, I've
Oo.
already
Saan yun?
known how here in the UAE.
Oh, here.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So even if I've grown up here, I've always been around Filipinos.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
I think I'm super fluent sa Tagalog.
Okay.
It's better.
Pero
That's
my
good.
Arabic is very rusty. So it's it's because
But
like,
you can understand Arabic.
I
Okay.
could understand it, but then
But you cannot converse in Arabic.
I could converse like a 2-year-old
Like
kid.
okay. Okay.
Two-year-old.
Yeah,
That's nice.
but when we're at home and my dad and I and my sister would like start speaking in Arabic, my brother would, I think he would reply in English.
Yeah.
And
but
then we would still
they'd still converse
still-
in
yeah,
Arabic.
converse in Arabic because he would understand, but then he just can't
Mm,
express
that's-
himself
Yeah, okay.
in Arabic. Yeah.
Sounds complicated, pero
Yeah.
it works. If it works, it works. No?
The
It's
same
really good.
for food, I would
Yeah.
say. Like
Yeah.
we grew up in a household where we would have Filipino food and Arabic food all the time
Yeah.
because my dad wouldn't necessarily eat all of the Filipino food. He would, but sometimes when it's, I don't know, like kare-kare or adobo, my mom would cook a different dish for my dad. So we always had like two
Adobo is a
different.
national dish.
Yeah, it's really yummy. So it's nice to grow up in
I would like to argue that
really
yung adobo is our national
It's not.
dish.
alam ko
It's
na, alam ko
sinigang.
na.
Is it?
Ano?
Jollibee.
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 Tanging babaon ko ay Jollibee.
Do you Jollibee,
Jollibee's the
Jacob?
best.
Yeah, no, I had it.
Oh, Jollibee.
You're a
ah.
Filipino.
Do you
Yeah.
like Jollibee?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
What
Bee
would you
versus
say?
clown.
Did you like the burger or the chicken?
I think
or...
the chicken strips.
yeah.
Tumatawag ng sponsorship natin.
Jollibee.
Hello.
Thank you
Shout out
for
advertisement.
Yeah.
Jollibee.
So starting your school when you grew up in Sweden,
Mhm.
is it difficult for you because you're like half and half?
I mean,
Were you bullied when you were a kid? Or?
no, actually, in Sweden, they accept you more.
Really?
I don't know why. Yeah, they accept you more. And when I was the first time I was here in UAE,
Mm.
I think I was more bullied the first time I was here than I was in
Really?
Sweden.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I just
Bullied in what way?
I don't know. Like I wouldn't get like I wouldn't like fit in. I wouldn't get accepted. I guess they would call me names.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah?
Wow.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah. So yeah.
Names like what? Cob.
Not Coco. Just like
Kabga!
I don't know. Just like dummy and like
Yeah.
stuff.
Wow.
I don't know. They didn't accept me because
Generic.
like
Yeah.
because I was Swedish and Filipino.
Ah.
Usually in that school they weren't like because I went to
Where are you
ASA.
studying?
I went to ASA first, which is
Mm.
another international school.
Yes.
And I went to ASA. So in ASA, they didn't really accept me because I was Swedish Filipino, and most of them were like, like locals and Emiratis. And
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Okay.
So then I didn't really fit in.
So,
Yeah.
There's
And then-
more discrimination here, I suppose.
Very,
Yeah.
very
I don't
interesting,
know,
know.
compared to Europe.
When I went to
mas-
ACS, it was more like international. So
Yeah.
a lot of people like
So you're in high school right now?
yeah,
or-
I'm high school.
Yeah,
I'm high
okay,
school.
okay.
Last senior year. Yeah.
Last senior year.
You're in which grade?
12 senior year.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
So would you say you were more bullied the last few years? So when you were younger?
Yeah, yeah. When I was younger.
I
yeah.
guess yeah, because I guess at the time there were, I would say the multicultural. How do I say
Setup?
it? Yeah, like how it is
Mm.
now wasn't how it was a few years ago.
Okay.
So,
different
Yeah,
before.
I guess there were like more Arabs like
Mm.
and more I would say Europeans, but not a lot of halfies.
Mhm.
So I guess now they're more open. They're being more open to the mix of cultures.
Yeah.
and- so I
That's
guess
why
that's
they have the year of
Interesting.
tolerance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because for them they're like, oh, he's different. Like he doesn't fit in.
Yeah, exactly.
Because my sister and I felt the same when we were young. We
Yeah,
went
but
an
to be
Arabic
fair,
school,
it
yeah.
happens in all the high schools. Kahit
Yeah.
naman nung we
Yeah.
were young.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just generic that
Yeah.
you get bullied in high school for some reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Exactly.
Marami pa rin
They will
name
call you
callings.
names, yeah.
Like what?
Like
Yeah.
tenga. They will call you tenga. You know tenga?
No, no idea.
If your tenga, your ears is
It's very
big,
big.
they will call you tenga.
Tenga.
Literally.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Or ngipin if you
Ngipin, yeah.
if your teeth are
I think I was dodeng daga or something. Mga ganun
I-shoutout
kami.
mo eh. Shoutout mo yung tatawag sa'yo.
Classmates.
Grabe yan ah.
Nagpatawag kami ng
Yeah.
principal because in our
Dodeng
yearbook,
daga?
in our
Dodeng
senior
daga?
year, parang we wrote the names that they call us.
Ay,
Yung mga
grabe.
kalokohang
Grabe
names
naman.
nakalagay dun sa yearbook namin. So the
Grabe.
principal said, sa tingin, because we were studying in a public school and it was
Yeah.
funded by the Manila City Office. At that time, Mayor Lim. sabi ni principal, sa tingin nyo ba magiging masaya si Mayor Lim? Magkakaroon na yung dodeng daga.
Sipin mo si Mayor Lim, nasa table niya, tinatawanan kayo. Doding daga nga. Oh.
So yeah, we had the same issues even
That's-
if we're not.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's like
happens in
typical
high
bullying,
school.
yeah.
Exactly. How about you, GJ? Anong,
Growing up,
growing up, were you bullied because of your, like, because you are a hap or, like,
not really.
not really, right?
Yeah, no.
Or-
Yeah, I guess my brother was more of
The bully?
I wasn't
You're the bully?
You were the bully.
Not really the bully, pero sobrang sikat yan sa school.
Oh, grabe!
seryoso.
Sample!
As in from teacher's pet yan kasi he's the valedictorian.
Wow.
He's so smart.
Valedictorian.
Flex ko lang yung kapatid ko.
Wow!
Victoria.
And then, lagi siyang, like, he's so friendly. Everyone knows him from
That's
any
nice.
grade, like from high school to grade school. Oh, yeah, George. Yeah, you're George's sister. I'm like, yeah.
So you became George's
Yes,
sister.
exactly. Diba? He was that famous.
You were known
that
as the
I'm
George sister.
The sister.
The
I'm like,
sister.
okay.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
But I think one thing, like growing up here in the UAE,
Mm.
I kind of like growing up. You identify as a local in a way, because you know how,
Okay.
like in school they make you sing
Yeah.
the UAE national anthem.
Right.
Everywhere. I don't know
okay,
if schools
yeah.
do that right now, but
Yeah.
growing up they'd always make you sing the UAE national anthem,
true.
and then
That's true.
like only in my later years did I realize, okay, I'm not actually a local.
I'm not a local. Yeah, that's true. We actually have to
Speaking
sing.
of, you sing the national anthem.
Yeah,
here.
the UAE national anthem.
So they
yeah.
teach you sa school.
Yeah.
Kasi
Yes.
you were studying in Filipino school.
Yeah.
Kaya meron.
Yeah, but I think all schools here do
They
it.
also.
I'm not sure right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
but
they do.
Even Abu
They do.
Dhabi, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
So you're
every morning.
interested as third culture kids, interested to learn Tagalog or your mom's or dad's native language?
I get, yeah. I mean, it depends.
Do you think it's an advantage that you learn both or which one is better for you? Next,
I think
pinapili.
I think just like Tita Janine said on your episode, ano mo, happy episode mo.
happy episode.
Superpower nila yan, yung
Yeah.
they have like they have
Mm.
both understanding of the language of like being an Arabic,
Such an
being Mm.
advantage.
Tagalog, saka
Yes.
may
Ang daya.
may English pa.
Wow.
Daya. I'm sure
Especially-
Jacob is like, yeah, Swedish, he
Yeah.
understands
Yeah.
Swedish.
Yeah.
Do you understand some sort of Arabic as well or what?
Not really.
Not
Just a
really.
bit, yeah.
But at least you have like both like bilingual. You're bilingual. You have
No, I have
have an
I have a lot
option.
of Arab friends though, so they speak a lot of Arabic. But,
Yeah.
like I don't really like pick up from that.
But you would still be open to learning Tagalog, for example, or your mom speaks Bisaya or
Yeah,
the
for sure.
Filipino.
Yeah, for
Filipino
sure. I would love
languages.
to speak Tagalog because I'm gonna visit Philippines. I might even live
Yeah.
there because
Yeah.
we recently
nice.
bought an apartment there in
Yeah.
BDC, Manila.
Artista na yan.
Sample!
So yeah.
Calling ABS-CBN and GMA.
Yeah.
She's saying like you're gonna end up as a celebrity.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because you have
I don't know about
Because
that.
you're happy and then, you know.
I don't know.
That's
about
not
that.
typically the happies are
No,
like
yeah, that's basically if you're
Oh,
happy,
really?
yeah, you end up being
The
a
halfies
celebrity.
are dominating.
Yeah.
Start a blog and then
Yeah.
you're set for
Exactly, that's it, done.
for
Blog.
entertainment.
Travel blog.
like Will Dasovich, no?
A
Like,
vlog.
Erwan Usaf.
Erwan, si Erwan, si Kuya Erwan.
True.
I mean, going back to the language, did your parents like push pressure you to learn Tagalog or any?
No,
Or the
no, no,
Swedish,
no,
for
no.
example.
My
No,
mom
not
didn't
really.
pressure me at all. Like she didn't really start off like she didn't want me to speak Tagalog.
Oh,
What was the reason?
She only spoke Swedish to me.
Yeah.
So like overall, I wasn't really.
What do you think
pressured.
what's the reason why did she talk to you in?
I don't know, cause I think I started living in Sweden, cause
okay.
I was around Swedish people and to improve my Swedish, I guess, cause
Yeah.
I think I had speech difficulty when I was younger, so I think I could only stick to like one language when I was in Sweden,
Yeah.
so my mom chose Swedish.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
so
so they're
that's
better
the
for my school and stuff.
probably
For
mean that's the main
practical
reason.
reasons.
Yeah, but yeah, but she didn't
Okay.
pressure me.
That's cool.
what about you, GJ?
I think I was more pressured by my dad to
To
speak
learn
Arabic.
in
to learn
Arabic. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Till this day.
Yeah, talaga. Yeah.
And what do you do like if you were like speak Arabic and
I just keep quiet.
He would be like, and then he'll walk out.
But do you do some like an effort to understand or you just like
I think I'm giving very minimal effort.
yeah
It's strange because the thing is, I understand the language. And
yeah
I think I can speak it, but then when I try to formulate my words,
Okay.
it just
Yeah.
gets mumbles in my head.
ah
So-
okay
That's one of the reasons why I don't speak the language that
Yeah.
much. Also,
which adds to my question. Do you like, for example, if you think of something
Mhm.
do you speak in do you think in English or do you think in
Oh.
Swedish or do you dream in Swedish?
Do you dream in
Do you dream in
No.
Swedish and do you dream in English? Ikaw, GJ, anong mo? Anong
Dream?
dream.
Do you dream in English or
Or even you
Tagalog
think.
when you
Anong
think
language?
Actually,
English, do you
English,
think in
yeah.
English?
How about you guys?
That's nice. Tagalog.
Tagalog.
Wala naman
Yung
naman.
internal discussion mo
I think-
sa sarili mo.
Pwede rin, sumasagot sa akin English eh. Pag tinatanong, English yung sumasagot sa akin.
Wow.
Ikaw, Jacob.
I don't know. For me, it varies. Sometimes it's in English, sometimes
Yeah?
it's in Swedish. So like, I don't know. Like
So,
whatever's
yeah,
gonna happen.
that's-
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
I think, but usually,
nice.
usually when you started to learn to speak in English, like our friend Tito Raf,
Si Paeng, oh.
Paeng,
Shoutout to
yeah.
Paeng.
when we met him, he never speaks
Yeah.
Tagalog.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he never speaks Tagalog, and we were like always bullying him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Paeng.
Yeah, he
He gets
makes fun
bullied
of
Yeah.
He makes fun of him.
Yeah, we make fun of him, but
we make fun of him that
we
because he's not speaking in Tagalog.
Yeah, we
that's
make
why.
fun. Yeah,
We
that's-
make
Make
puns.
fun.
So funny.
Fun and fun.
Fun.
Yeah, exactly.
At
And
the
then-
same
Hirap,
time.
fun, and funny.
yeah. But he eventually learned it on his own. I think
Exactly.
he needs to adapt as because everyone is Filipino around him.
Yeah.
So I think like as soon as you move to the Philippines,
you will.
you're gonna be forced
you
to pressure to
And
learn.
dream in Tagalog. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
will. Dream of Jollibee.
Maybe you can maybe you can dance budots in your dream. Budots.
Is there any like speaking of Filipino culture, do you think you've adapted some stuff from your mom as a like a Filipina?
That's a
Do
good
you-
question.
Yeah, may mga
For sure, I think.
How Filipino are you?
Yeah.
Parang ganyan.
How Filipino am
Yeah.
I? I think I'm a true blue Pinoy.
Really?
I don't know. I think like being a Pinoy has a big like place in my heart because my mom always always like taught me like how to like act and like act Pinoy and like how to dress and like the different kind of foods
Okay.
and then like always when we visit our
Do you
family.
say po and opo when you're in the Philippines or
Pardon?
po and
Oh.
opo?
Oh,
Like
no.
what do you call that?
It's like a sign of
Oh,
respect.
po,
po and
Sign
opo.
of respect.
Do you use it?
I mean, I try to. I think my mom reminds me every time we go out to say po.
And the mano.
And the mano thing.
Yeah, exactly.
A
Yeah,
gesture to
exactly.
your
Yeah.
grandparents.
Do you do that?
or something.
Yeah, for sure.
And
But,
your mom is just keep telling you like, mano
yeah,
here.
like remember, do this,
Yeah,
do that
yeah.
before we go in.
To the ninong and
this.
ninang.
Act
Yeah,
respectful,
yeah.
all this. So yeah, so overall, like, I think I'm a true blue Pinoy.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good to know.
exactly.
DJ.
Yeah. Same.
Same, ano.
I mean, yeah, like growing up here and always being around Filipinos,
Yeah.
it's I feel like I'm just Filipino 100%.
Yeah.
I think more than anything, why we define ourselves as Pinoy is more of the traits like eating a lot of kanin,
Yeah.
saying po
Rice is
and
life.
opo,
Yeah.
and then growing up with how if your mom was mad at you, may kurot sa gilid.
Yeah.
Ganyan. Or like, the walis tambo,
Yeah.
ano ba kayo? Ganyan. Sobrang,
I think the true
How-
definition of being a Filipino is if your family or your mother uses Bix.
yes,
Your-
of course.
Your mother, does your mother uses Bix?
No.
No?
Yes. Yes.
But that's
Bix.
normal.
Every time we have a flu in the
And Bix,
family.
no?
Oh, for real?
Yes, my
True,
mom
I
would take
think.
out a bowl of hot water and she's like, oh, mag-Bix na kayo dyan." Tapos, we will make up
Alright.
our own tent
Grabe
with a
yan,
blanket.
Bix.
And then we'll all hold it. And she's like, okay, everyone stay inside. We will let the Bix evaporate.
Oh, wow. Oo nga.
It will make you feel better.
Nice.
I think also like eating a lot of rice.
Yes.
Yeah. You eat a lot of
Oh,
rice.
okay.
Because in Sweden, they usually eat potatoes, but since like I have my mom's Filipino, she cooks a lot of rice.
Uh-huh.
So I got used to
Mm.
eating a lot of rice now.
So
Nice.
whenever you go back to Sweden and then
I mean, I usually eat rice.
You look for rice, huh?
Yeah.
just like
I
just
got so
like
used to
what
it.
what we saw.
where's
from,
my rice?
from the
Yeah,
TED talk.
There was a TED talk
Yeah.
we were watching about third culture kid.
Yeah.
Nice.
He was like he stays in the Philippines for a time.
Yeah.
And then because he was asking his mom
Mhm.
because they're like full Americans, right?
Full, yeah.
So he's asking his mom like, why are we eating rice every
yeah.
day?
Yeah.
But when he came back to the US,
Mhm.
he's asking her mom like, where is the rice?
Oh.
I need
it's
my
like-
rice.
so it's like he adapted to it,
Yeah.
to that culture, the Filipino culture of eating rice.
Rice is so important.
Yeah,
We
rice is
eat it
life.
for
3 times a
breakfast,
day.
lunch,
Yeah.
dinner, even snack.
Snack, champurado. no?
Exactly. Rice is everywhere.
Suman.
Exactly,
Yes.
yes. Desserts.
What are the
Medyo nagagap, ano?
Medyo na eh.
What do you think of what is the advantages of being a third culture kid?
I think that like you see a lot of different perspectives
Yeah,
and point of
that's really
views
good,
on
right? That's
different
true.
kind of people.
Mm.
Because like if I was just Swedish and
Yeah.
I was just like in like Sweden, I wasn't a third culture kid. I wouldn't see like how UAE was like and
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
like culture in like Islam,
Yeah.
like Philippines and
Tama, yeah.
overall, yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
I feel like you're more understanding of different cultures and
Yes.
traditions, and
Exactly.
you're open to trying out different things also.
Mm-hmm.
That's being a third culture
Yeah,
kid.
that's
Mm.
nice.
That's okay.
Yeah, because you wouldn't necessarily learn about all of these if I stayed in Lebanon or if I stayed in the Philippines.
Mhm.
It would be totally different. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be as as open as I was now to other culture, I guess.
Hindi mo kami friends, ano? Pagka
Yeah.
nasa-
Like, oh my gosh, do not talk.
Yung message si Jenny, man.
Who you?
Who
Who you? Why are you talking to me?
No, actually, yung what I've read about third culture kid is like the culture itself is like it's made of by the kids themselves. It's not really particular to the country where they live in
Yeah,
or
oo.
the culture from the parents. It's like a made of
Right.
thing, a made up culture
Mm.
with with the kids, and it's this is different from one another. It's not basically the same. It's the same.
parang
Yeah.
it's individual.
Individual,
It's based on your
yeah,
experience, whether
Mm.
it's Swedish or
Yeah.
Pinoy or Arabic.
Yeah.
That I actually read something that third culture kids apparently don't feel at home in one spot.
Yeah.
They find home in each spot they
Yeah.
go to. So whether
Oh,
you go
that's
to
true.
UAE or
Mm.
Philippines or wherever you go to in the world,
Yeah.
you find home wherever you go because
Exactly.
Yeah.
you experience a lot of different
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah. On that note, I'm gonna ask you a question. If someone asks you where is home, Jacob,
I mean, like TJ said, like there's different homes in different places. Like
Yeah.
in Philippines, it's home there.
so if
Sweden's
someone
home
asks you
there.
from here,
from
UAE,
here, I guess it's Sweden and Philippines. Like I have two homes.
Abu
Yeah.
Dhabi.
I don't think there's. I don't think there's any like wrong saying that you have two homes. I think
Yeah.
it's nice to have two homes. Honestly.
and you cannot say that you're from here.
Technically.
Technically, I mean, but
Technically, I
you
guess.
cannot call your home is UAE.
I mean, I could.
You can say second home.
Hometown.
second home. Yeah.
Second home,
Yeah.
okay.
Second
Yeah,
home.
second home. Exactly.
For me, I can say this is my second home.
Yo.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
His home.
Yo.
Itong this one.
Exactly
this home.
Yeah.
This house.
But that's so interesting because
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, someone I met asked me the same question. Where would you?
Oh wow.
What is home to you?
Yeah.
And I said Lebanon and Philippines.
Okay.
And then he said, "Really? So you don't call Dubai or
Yeah.
UAE as your home?" And then it
Mm.
hit me. I'm like, "Oh, nga no. I've been
Yeah.
here 28
Like you
For
don't
years.
identify.
Yeah.
I mean, if
UAE.
there's any home, really, Dubai is my home because I've been here.
You grew up here.
the longest,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's a
But
good question, no?
I think
Actually.
just because
Question.
at the back of my head, this will never be truly home to me. And
Mm.
one day I would have to
It's a good
leave
content,
the
ano?
country.
Video
Right.
content.
Diba?
We should ask
Yeah.
that question.
We should,
That's
yes.
Makes me a
Oo,
good.
where is your
you know.
home?
Yeah, where is
Right.
home to
Very
you?
solid.
How
What
about you?
Yeah. How about you?
Dubai, UAE.
Talaga?
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
At least
Surprising.
he identifies
Oh.
with Dubai.
I feel like it's my hometown. I love the Philippines. I love Lebanon.
Yes.
But growing up here, I feel like this is home to me.
This is home.
Which like what you said. I mean, a lot of people who grew up here, like my friends, a lot of them who end up moving out of this country
Mm.
one day or another, they find it hard to adjust because this is home to them.
Uh-huh.
And then going back to your parents' home country
Yes.
is such a big adjustment
Uh,
that they don't consider that place as their home. So
Right.
Yeah, especially if you go back to
Kinda
the
weirded
Philippines.
out.
Yeah, actually, that's
Mm.
true. Because when I moved in college for my first few weeks, it was such a culture shock. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? You know?
oh.
Because
Right.
when we would always just go there for vacations,
Mhm.
and when you're in vacation, of course, you're living the good life.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
You don't see
Yeah.
these
don't
little
see
things.
the-
You
yeah.
don't see the
real
true, yes, the real
situation.
situation. So when my mom left me and she's like, okay, you're gonna stay here for the duration of your college. And as I said in my one of my our episode, the
Yeah.
halfy episode, my first day of school, my mom's like, okay, you figure out how to get to school. And I'm like, what? I don't know how to get to school. Take the jeep, take the tricycle, you figure it out.
Mm.
So it was like
Immersion agad.
exactly. My mom's like, kaya mo yan, you can do it. And I'm like, okay,
Mm.
I will. But it really was a culture shock and it took time for me to adjust. Because I mean, growing up in Dubai and then moving to the Philippines, what a big
Yeah,
difference.
yeah.
Right.
What's strange
yeah.
is that you belong to the same family, but he identifies it
Yeah.
as Dubai as his home,
Yeah.
and you identify
It's
Philippines.
interesting.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I think because when we were younger, my sister and I stayed for 2 years in the Philippines when I was grade 1 and 2, if I'm not mistaken. And then we came back, but my brother
He stayed here.
he stayed
talaga.
here, like he stayed in
Mm.
his whole
Right.
life. Yeah,
That's nice.
Interesting.
Difference between inside the home, there's difference.
Mm.
yeah.
Oh.
Third culture kids.
Okay.
For
differences,
parents, do you like your kids growing up with a third culture? You think advantage yan?
I think ngayong ngayong generation, this generation, like it's kind of like a common occurrence na eh.
Mhm.
Like
Right.
everyone in the world is like there's people who is a third culture kid. He's
Yeah.
not their parents is not from there,
Yeah.
but they adapted that culture of like that kind of
Parang-
culture and
Yeah.
then they make their own experience and culture and stuff like that.
And maybe because we have access to a lot of information
Exactly.
on the internet. So
True.
even
The
if
world is getting smaller every
even
day.
Filipinos, like for example, now Korean novelas are
Korean
a hit,
novela,
or
oo.
K-pop is a hit in
Yeah.
the Philippines, and
Mhm.
kids want to learn Korean.
Yeah.
As in, may
Yeah.
mga batang
Yes.
they speak Korean just because they watch.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yes.
they
Wow.
watch K-pop
Yeah.
on the
Exactly.
TV or on internet. So
Which is not a bad
Yeah.
thing because there's a lot of parang may cultural exchange in a way. Like the world is
mas madali yung
Oh,
cultural
World's big,
exchange.
yeah.
it's really interesting that
What would
How
Jacob? What
you-
would you share to us as Filipinos?
Mhm.
What would be nice to share as a Swedish kid?
What do you mean?
Like if you were playing with Pinoys, for example,
Mhm.
or you've never had Pinoy classmates. You've
No,
never
I've had. Yeah,
Mm.
I've had.
So-
back
like-
in Sweden or here.
here.
I had one back in Sweden, and here I've a couple. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What would be fun to share with you? Like
Share,
if you
like-
were a kid trying to get along
get
with
to
your
know?
other, yeah.
I guess like music. Music would
Music.
be a really important one because
Yeah.
if we like share the same kind of music,
Yeah.
I feel like we could really connect with each other and
Yeah,
vibe with each
yeah,
other.
yeah,
So
Mm.
music. Also like video games. I was really into video games. Were you guys into video games or no? Do you guys play any?
I do play.
You
Yeah.
play? Yeah.
A bit when I was younger, I guess.
Yeah, so like I think video games really like helped me like make friends and like help me like
Yeah.
connect with people because
Yeah, nowadays it's like
Mhm.
it's
that's the thing I would
the
go back
normal,
to
yeah.
when I would come
Actually,
home.
Uh-oh.
I'd go on my PlayStation. I would like chat with my friends. and
yeah,
play with them.
exactly.
So I think I really created a good relationship. So
So
Oh, my
wait.
son.
Yeah.
My son
Wait.
has because he plays the Xbox and
Right.
he has local friends in Fujairah in the
Mhm.
one in Abu Dhabi and
Yeah.
it's
So
half
interesting.
half Filipino, half Emirati.
They've never met.
And
Wow.
one,
They
never met.
yeah, they never met, and one Emirati in Abu
Yeah,
Dhabi,
exactly.
and they're really close friends. Like
Yeah.
they
That's so
actually,
cute.
How can they be close friends? As in,
I mean, probably
only online.
online,
Yeah.
but
online.
they,
Close
Exactly.
online friends.
online, yeah,
Online.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know,
long
but
distance.
yeah, I guess
I
so.
That's
can
nice.
relate.
But
Long
yeah.
distance.
Yeah.
Long distance friends. Ayun na.
I guess on that note, I just I wanted to ask, like, do you guys like try and put in much effort to like reach out to, to your fellow countrymen, Filipino, Swedish, Lebanese?
TJ, you answer that.
I mean, yeah, on the same question, like
Yeah.
if you see a Lebanese or if you see a Filipino on the street or on the road or in the supermarket, like, do you
Do
feel
you think
comfortable?
kabayan?
Oh, do you say
Yeah.
kabayan or comfortable with them? Oh, hey, I belong to you. I mean,
Yeah.
we're the same
Oh yeah. Well, usually they think I look South American. They think I look Latin American. I'm like, hey, I'm half Filipino. Like, no, you're not.
No.
I'm like, are you
I
sure?
get- Yeah.
And it's like, prove it to me. I'm like, oh, my mom's
Tapos
from
hindi ka
Mindanao.
pa
I've been to
nagtatagalog.
Cebu, this and that.
And
Yeah.
plus, you don't
Believe
speak
me.
Tagalog.
Exactly.
What's the proof?
I don't believe you. I don't believe
Show
you.
a picture of my mom and everything.
Speak
and,
Tagalog.
So you have a picture of your mom on your
yeah, just in case. Yeah.
See, look at my mom.
This is my
This
mom.
is my
oh.
Filipino.
exactly. So yeah.
That's so interesting because I feel like a lot of halfies. Well, I myself, I always get mistaken for a South American.
Mhm.
Like they always, they always start
Yeah.
speaking to me in
Soy
Espanol.
Janine. Soy
Exactly.
Janine.
Actually, the Latin
Artista.
of the Asia, Latinos of Asia. Yeah.
Mine's it's
Basically.
totally different. I like people. I mean, I know myself. I look more Filipino.
Yeah.
So, like when I tell people I'm Lebanese, they're like, "What? You're Lebanese? Like, how are you Lebanese?" Or like when they, especially like whenever they see my surname, which
Yeah.
is Khoury,
Oh.
they're like, "How?
How?
Like,
Like-
Show mo
So
naman
it's
yung
always-
picture ni Daddy.
I was like, here's my dad.
I think you should print a shirt with
shirt.
your,
My
dad's
dad.
face.
But it's funny because he looks so much like my dad, and at the same time, he looks so Filipino. So I'm not sure how that happened. But out of the
That's
three
nice.
of us, siya yung most
Yeah.
Pinoy looking.
Pinoy looking.
Actually, like if a fellow Filipino will speak to you, like, oh, you're a Filipino. On their part will be like happy and like trying
Yes.
to. Oh yeah, you're kabayan. Oh, I know. Where are you from?
True,
How about the
true.
other nationality that you, for example?
Oh, Swedish?
Yeah, Swedish. If they heard like you're Swedish or
I mean, I don't think they really care. They're like, oh yeah.
Don't really
just
care?
like what's good? Like,
but you know the difference, right? If a
yeah,
Filipino
yeah,
found
yeah.
out.
Filipino, like, oh my god. How
Yeah,
are you? You want some
exactly.
food?
Big
You
deal.
want,
Yeah, exactly.
They're
you want a
more
blanket, a
hospitable.
house? You know.
Car, what can I offer?
Yeah. Swedish is like, yeah. All right.
Don't care, huh? They're not as
Yeah,
welcome.
yeah.
Enthusiastic.
Exactly, more conservative.
DJ, DJ,
Sorry,
ikaw.
what was the question?
Yeah, if someone...
Yun nga, if there's like, yung Filipino nga, di ba? Pagka Filipino is like, if someone saw, oh, kabayan, where you from?
Parang you're part of
Yeah,
us.
part of-
Ganun,
yeah.
masaya.
They're
Yeah,
more
what about, yeah, what-
hospitable.
yeah,
But what about the other
Lebanese,
cultures?
yeah.
Say the same for
you're
If they heard that you're Lebanese, what do they
They're
say?
just me about it as well, or
Oh,
what?
they're very. They ask a lot of questions. Then they're like,
Ah.
okay, but how are you Lebanese? Like,
Wow, okay.
mom's side, dad's side. Tell me more about
Like
it.
investigation.
It's like an investigation.
You need to
Yeah.
prove to us.
Prove
Right.
it.
Do you
Yeah.
speak the language? Like, do you eat the food? And
Yeah.
just those
Wow.
questions.
Shawarma.
Yeah.
Not like Filipino, like, oh,
I think
Yeah.
that's a very Filipino thing that when you know someone or a very like a celebrity like
yeah.
kind of person and you know that she's like 1/8 or 1/16 of a
1/8 of a
Filipino,
Filipino.
you
Yeah.
identify
She's
with
Filipino.
you're claiming it, right?
You're like,
It's very
"Oh,
Filipino.
Pinoy yan.
Yeah,
Pinoy yan. He's from the
exactly.
Philippines. But I think it's more of kasi our surname is very Lebanese.
Lebanese, yeah.
Mm.
Like it is the top
It's like
one.
a De La Cruz of
Exactly.
Yes.
I was just gonna say it's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
De La Cruz.
So when someone sees our surname, they're like, hold on. Khoury, that's so Lebanese. How? Please explain.
Okay.
And then they start hearing our accent, which is more, I guess, like leaning towards
Yeah.
Filipino accents. So you're like, I don't
Yeah.
understand. And then you have to explain to them, okay, my dad's Lebanese, my mom's Filipino, the whole speech.
Ang laki ng pagkakaiba na pagka Pilipino naman yung nagtatanong, ano.
Yeah.
It's
Pag,
Mm.
pag
Very
Pinoy,
welcoming.
it's more, they're very excited eh.
Yeah.
Parang, oh my gosh, Pinoy ka!
Yung tone nag-iiba.
Oo, nag-iiba. It's from, hello, Mamsir, can I help you? Kabayan po. Ay, kabayan!
Change agad.
Shift of tone
Yeah.
eh. Oo.
Tumaas.
Tumaas.
Typical yun sa ano, typical yun sa mga
Filipino, very
mga
Filipino.
groceries, sa mga
Oo.
groceries. Kasi sa mga groceries, mga seryoso sila, mga cashier ganyan. ganyan. Kabayan, ay yes sir.
Yes po, kabayan.
No, and especially
Typical siya.
outside, especially outside the UAE din. Kunyari sa mga US or EU, pag pumunta ka tapos may makita kang kabayan, super excited.
Yes.
Talaga ba?
They're really parang, oh, ikaw, you're one of us. Ganun.
Yes.
Oo.
Kwento agad.
Mm. Very patriotic.
Mm-mm.
Kunento na yung buong story ng pamilya nila.
Exactly. Saan ka galing? Kami sa Cebu kami.
Yan.
Tapos yung asawa ko naman galing
Oo,
dito.
oo.
Okay po, okay.
Culture shock, by the way, Jacob. When did you first came to the Philippines? What? How
Um,
old were you when?
I was pretty young. I think I was
Mm.
like 2 years old, 2 to 3 years
Mhm.
old, and I was visiting my grandpa,
Yeah.
grandma there. So
And
Were you
yeah.
shocked
Where
or?
where they from? Where you?
Walang shock.
I don't really know. We're in Philippines or Cebu or
Cebu.
Mindanao.
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 Mindanao. My
Alright.
bad. Yeah, it's because I there. But I don't really recall much because
Okay,
I was
but
very
when you
young.
were like
Agusan,
probably like in
Okay.
teenager,
Oh,
time.
teenager, yeah. I visited like Palawan,
Yeah.
Boracay,
Okay.
The
Cebu,
tourist
and
spots.
like
How was it? Like, what was your experience like?
it was very nice, very
Yeah?
exotic, tropical kind of place,
Really?
right? And they're very like
It's
they're
very
so nice to us.
mm,
Like since I'm like a halfie, they're like, oh my god, yo, what do you want?
yeah, like the
Right.
treatment just
Yeah, the
suddenly
treatment is
changed.
really
eh?
good, and overall
That's
it's really
nice.
good. Yeah, good
That's
experience.
nice.
And we went island hopping as well. That's
Mhm,
it's
mhm.
pretty interesting. Gone inside like caves and stuff,
Yeah.
and like fishing, and yeah.
So
Overall,
comparing
great.
the weather in Sweden,
Yeah,
like
Sweden.
it's very cold, right?
Yeah, it's very
And this is a
different.
tropical island.
Yeah, it's very different.
So how did you like? Is it really a big,
Shift.
big
Change.
shift?
I
Like,
think it is.
did you adapt like real quick or like?
I still had to get used to it because
Yeah.
like in Sweden, it's always cold.
Yeah.
It's like winter for literally like most of the year.
Yeah.
Especially like and in the Philippines it doesn't snow.
yeah.
Like it's barely any snow, so that I think it was like a gradual
Yeah.
adaptation, but overall like it was kind of a shock. Yeah,
Yeah. What was the one thing that shocked you? Like,
like
Mosquito.
I don't know.
Yeah.
General-
mosquito, cause,
Mosquito.
'cause yeah, because I don't think
It can kill you, by the way.
Yeah, because I don't think
Yeah.
insects and
Oh,
bugs
dang.
survive the cold. The cold
Mm.
winter. It's too
Yeah.
cold. They don't want to be there. They want to be in
Yeah.
a more tropical place.
Yeah.
So I think mosquitoes and like
Mosquito.
bugs exactly.
Yeah.
The
And, like,
ipis.
The
Yeah,
ipis.
you
The
just-
flying
What about the
ipis.
flying? The flying
Cockroach.
The flying what?
Flying
Cockroach.
A cockroach. That
Flying.
flies. I've never heard
Have
of
you
that.
seen
No,
the
never
flying
heard.
cockroach?
Oh my god, man. That's
No
the most.
way.
God.
You're
When you,
I heard
when you
mosquitoes.
go to one side of the
And the
room,
monkeys.
they will go with you.
Nah,
It will like.
I never seen
They're
one.
not scared of you at all.
And they don't play like
Yes.
this. They don't play like in one direction. They play like this.
Wait, how big are they? Are they like a normal?
Like this.
Big.
Uh,
2 inches, even
Yeah,
more.
like-
Yeah.
yeah,
And they're like red.
Yeah.
Red and black.
Wait, so,
Yeah.
do they
So when you
bite or
kill
like
it,
what?
you have to kill it like
Quick.
real dead.
Yeah.
Because when you don't,
Yeah.
they will survive.
They will, they will
survive.
attack
It's like
you.
the Filipino resiliency.
Come back from the grave.
They're not dead.
They're resilient.
Oh, you have
Yeah.
to see the white thing,
Yeah.
diba?
You have to kill it like properly.
I remember I would call my lolo and he would take his chinelas, his slippers, and he would be like, "Where is it? Where is it?"
Exactly.
And
oh,
then
that's
they actually fly into you. Like they really
Yes.
want to land to you.
Yeah.
They're not afraid. They don't care. Like,
Wait, so what do they do? Do they suck blood or?
No,
No,
they
they're
don't.
just
They just annoy
They just
you.
fly.
they're just
Okay.
creepy.
You will turn into cockroaches.
Parasite.
Ikaw, GJ,
No.
did you like experience like a shock,
Actually,
culture
no.
shock when you were like
On the contrary, I actually lived in the Philippines for 2-3 years
2-3 years?
after living here.
Mm.
But unlike her, I did not feel any culture shock.
Wow, really?
Because here's the
Because
fact: like,
yeah.
I was in a school where most of the students were third culture kids.
Which
Oh,
school?
okay.
He went to a Konya school kasi.
Wow, Konyo school.
Konyo school.
Wow.
So I actually
Kanye.
lived in a dorm where everyone was from somewhere in the world.
Somewhere else.
So whether they're
Okay.
Okay.
I-
Like expats as well, or like
yeah,
or,
expats
yeah.
or actually not Filipino, pero they study in the Philippines. So
Oh, okay.
I never experienced.
And it was
culture
in
shock.
Las Piñas. So my
So-
sister and I were in Olongapo. So it was not
Mm.
really, as
Private.
glamorous as, yeah. For him, it was like private with all of these like rich third culture kids.
Yeah.
Iba talaga pag bunso ka
Yeah,
sa bahay.
yeah. Bunso, and he's the only guy who would
Youngest,
carry my dad's surname
Yeah.
out of the whole
Yeah.
family. So he's like the little prince of the family.
It's a pressure, huh? Pressure,
Yes.
pressure.
Going back to the topic.
Uh,
Actually, I heard about it. It matters, right?
yeah, of course for Lebanese
Yeah.
families.
Yeah, because he's the only little boy in the family. So my dad's like, the best for him. I want the best for him. And we're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Exactly. That's nice.
Yeah, it felt like
Right.
living in the going back to topic.
Yeah.
It felt like I was still living in the UAE somehow. Or like
Right.
my lifestyle
Kasi
didn't change that
diverse
much.
yung
It was very
cultures.
diverse.
Kahit na may lamok.
Yun lang. Yun lamang lang yung difference. And
Baha.
yung is,
May dengue.
And baha.
Baha, yeah.
Baha.
The flood.
But,
Baha,
yeah.
traffic.
Did you study in Manila or in the
It's-
province?
Is Las Piñas in
Las
Yes,
Las
Metro
Piñas.
Manila, yeah,
Ah,
Las Piñas.
Manila. Oh, nga. That's nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Given the chance, would you guys or if you had the choice, would you come back home to Philippines or come to Philippines to stay for
For
long?
good, you
Oo.
mean,
or
or
for
start a
good, or to
family?
start,
and-
yeah.
Yeah, like why not? Honestly, like
Mm.
there's a lot of good opportunities for jobs in Manila. You know, it's very westernized. And also it's a very nice place. Good food, obviously, great
Oh.
people.
Oh, you don't see yourself going to...
No, I would want to
No,
go.
I mean to Sweden.
oh,
instead.
I mean,
So, versus
Versus
Sweden.
Sweden?
Yeah. I mean,
that's
How
hard.
do you see
that's
yourself?
hard.
Yeah.
ah, okay, for now.
For now,
For now.
mm, I mean, I think I would start in Philippines. I
Oh,
would start
okay.
in Philippines. You know, get used to there. But then like gradually move to Sweden
Yeah.
after because
Mm.
you know more comfortable in speaking languages there and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I would also like learn how to speak Tagalog when I'm in
Yeah.
Philippines, but then eventually I would move to Sweden. Yeah,
Mm.
Easily.
Yes,
Go
yeah.
vlogging.
Do
Yeah.
vlogging.
yeah. Maybe take a couple of years. Yeah,
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
you would learn the language.
Yeah.
exactly. What about you guys?
DJ.
I think Philippines, yeah.
Philippines.
I'd be more comfortable to live in the Philippines because I speak the language.
Uh-huh.
But then again, I did not really experience
Yeah.
living in the Philippines
Yeah,
as in
yeah.
like
Yeah,
commuting or anything.
Yeah.
So, but I'd say Philippines.
Angkas.
But at the same time also, because I don't know, like I consider a lot of places home.
Uh-huh.
So I'd like to see different other countries muna, maybe to experience it
Yeah.
and then eventually see where
Mhm.
to settle down.
right.
Yeah, because basically we're not gonna settle down here.
Yeah, exactly.
We all
It's
know
all
that this
here.
is not our permanent home.
Even if we've been
So
here for
it's
20
one reality I'd have to
Yeah.
face.
Even if like we stay there for
soon.
20, 30 years,
Exactly,
we
yeah.
still have to go somewhere.
Right.
That's so true.
Go, Ja.
Yeah, me, I think I'm not sure if it would be the Philippines, to be honest. And I don't know where it would be, and I think if I have a family, I would like to raise my kids elsewhere, not in Dubai, maybe
Not in Lebanon.
not in
also.
Lebanon.
Mm.
The U.S. maybe.
Yeah, maybe more of the US, Australia,
Maybe
Europe,
also kasi
maybe.
it's living in Dubai also gave you that flexibility to go.
Yeah, to
wherever
go-
you want.
Exactly,
Mm.
exactly.
And parang you're trained na to deal with all the different nationalities.
Yes, and I would like my kids to be that exposed to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to see a lot of other cultures and not just settle in one place. Para they can, adapt to different situations. Because I think it really, really helped me to be, exposed to two different cultures early on in my life, and then seeing a lot of other nationalities in Dubai. Parang really, I wouldn't be how I am now if it weren't for the situation I was in. It's really, really important. So for my kids, if they will be halfies or one quarter something else,
Mix.
exactly, a mix of whatever, it would be nice. But if not, then we would probably settle elsewhere, and they would eventually be third culture kids as well. Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
as long as you're not from your country, then it becomes a third culture
Exactly.
kid.
Yeah.
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 Even my son, like because my son is gonna go for university like in 2 years,
Mm.
and he doesn't want to stay here. Even in the Philippines, he doesn't want to go there.
Mm.
So I don't know.
Somewhere else.
I think
Somewhere
it's
else,
it's a very common thing na nangyayari this sa generation this coming generation, like they want to explore the world because of like
Yeah.
the media,
Yeah.
because of the internet. That's why they want to explore. They want
Yeah,
to
actually, what happened
know
is like
everything.
when we and my son start to travel, when he learned when he reached
Grabe, no, yaman
Ay,
naman.
yaman ni
Yaman naman ni Daddy.
Travel?
when he reached his teenager years, we start to travel, and then he start to learn that there's other culture and there's other people. Why are we in Dubai? He started to ask me, why are we there? Okay,
Yeah.
because we're We're just there just for a while.
Yeah.
And then okay, I don't want
But
to be
people
there.
from that country wants to go to Dubai.
Yeah,
That's
of course.
That's so true. Yeah.
Like,
They want to go to Dubai too. Di
yeah,
ba?
kaya nga nandito tayo eh.
It's a very subjective thing that
Yeah.
we have.
No, I mean, I guess the idea is just for to live.
Yeah.
You know, to where you gonna
Settle.
settle. Exactly. That's the exact word. Yeah.
Rise of the global citizens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
I think that's the.
Nice.
That's,
but then also the downside is important pa rin ba? Is it still important to have an identity in terms of culture?
Mm.
Is it still important?
Wow.
Now na global
That's a good
ka
question,
na.
eh.
Important pa ba yan?
Nako,
What do you think?
pressure kay Jacob. Jacob, answer that question, please.
Ang hirap na.
Jacob is like, hold on. Let me breathe.
Napagano si Jacob eh.
Napauna siya.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Whether it's important or not. Well, honestly, I honestly think it is important to know where you're from.
Mhm.
But like also, like I said before, like there's nothing wrong with having two homes, right? Like I consider this home also. I
Yeah.
consider Philippines. I consider Sweden,
Mm-hmm.
and overall, like that's my identity. I don't really know what to call my like pure home. I think I have three homes in general.
Mm-hmm.
That is important. Also, I wanted to talk about my project for a bit. My initiative I'm launching.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
It's
please,
called
please go ahead.
the
Please go ahead.
Saloa Learning Institute, and it's
What is it again?
called Saloa Learning Institute, and
Okay.
these are these kids, very underprivileged kids in
Yes.
Catanduanes, Philippines.
Catanduanes.
Catanduanes.
Yes.
Catanduanes, Philippines, and they're very underprivileged,
Mm-hmm.
and they study in a very hazardous condition since their school is destroyed by natural disasters
Typhoons. a lot
and
of
the
typhoons.
government wants to shut the school down, and I thought I really wanted to help something as well. I want to make a change,
What was the reason why
and
did
because
they...
and like I wanted to do something for the world, but I didn't know where. Like with my hometown,
Yeah.
I wanted to do it in Sweden, but Sweden is more, I think, developed as a country.
Yes.
Doesn't have a lot of underprivileged people, and I want to do it here, but this is also a very developed country. I thought, what other country? Oh, Philippines,
Yes.
Philippines.
Yep.
And then I reached out to Dita, and she's a fashion designer. And I told her, you know what? I really want to do something about Catanduanes, Philippines, because the kids, their parents are abaca weavers
Abaka.
right here.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
If you see our arms right now...
And they work very hard to
Yes,
send their kids to school.
it's
So
abaca.
They're made by Abaca weavers.
Yes.
Who's making this?
the parents of the kids that are going
Parents
to
of the
school.
kids.
And
How did you know about the school itself?
Dita, because she was like a fashion designer of
Okay.
abaca, like
Abaca.
fiber.
Uses abaca.
Uses
Abaca.
abaca.
Yeah.
Abaca fiber.
And this abaka it's in that particularly in that school or in
yeah,
the,
no, like the parents, like
The
they make
parents
it.
is-
Yeah,
The
yeah.
community.
The
the community
yeah,
is making
exactly.
this. Okay.
So overall, like I feel like I was like very blessed my whole life, and
Mhm.
I was very privileged. I went to a nice private school, a nice house,
Yes.
nice weather, parents, everything. So I really want to make a change. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's
How
nice.
did that come about?
How old are you again? 18.
Wow.
When you were 18, what did you do?
Don't ask me. You already know.
That's nice, no?
No,
That's really
Yeah.
nice. 18
How did-
and he's already starting to change the
Yeah,
world.
how did you
Yeah, it's
how did
nice.
that how did you thought of it? Yeah.
I don't know. I was like during my like 16 and 17, like I really wanted to make a difference. Like I thought,
Wow.
because I was very blessed, right?
Yeah.
I had all these things. and
Were
I'm like,
you was it influenced by anyone from your parents or
I think
How?
So the initiative came from you.
Yeah.
like, it came from me. It
Yeah,
came from
okay,
me.
cool.
I wanted to make a difference. To, like
That's nice.
Because
Very
Philippines
good.
is my home.
Wow.
Philippines as a home.
Ah,
'Cause like I said, it's still a part of my heart.
Yes,
It's still part of me.
exactly.
So I want to make a difference to that.
mm-hmm.
So yeah.
That's
and
nice.
he's bringing it here. Like you.
Yeah,
were-
yeah, exactly.
Do you have a Facebook page that you want to?
Yeah, I have a Facebook page. It's called Weave a Dream Project.
Okay. We
Yeah.
will link it down as well on our Facebook
And
page as well.
Also Instagram page Weave a Dream
Yes.
Proj.
Okay.
So go follow that. And
Cool.
also I will be hosting a booth in my school. It's like a
Mhm.
sneaker art booth to
Okay.
support the
Yeah.
Oh, you
the
collect
initiative
sneakers
as
as well?
Our friend
No, so
Ella will
yeah.
do the artwork.
Oh,
So
Oh,
basically,
okay.
so
For the
people
kids,
bring
yeah.
sneakers,
Okay.
and Ella would like customize the sneaker.
All right. Cool.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
Which
yeah.
school?
ACS.
ACS.
in Abu
ACS.
Dhabi.
American
Community school.
Community school.
Okay, that's nice.
That's really nice.
So,
So,
yeah.
like the donation, I think.
How can they donate?
How can they help the project?
How can they?
So basically, so for the booth, I have like a bunch of people at our school like donate money in order to get
Yeah.
their things customized.
Yeah.
Another thing would be helpful to be supporting the Instagram page, the Facebook page.
Yes.
To spread
And
the
Share
word.
the-
Spread
yeah,
the
share the
word.
word,
I think
share the-
awareness is fairly like significant towards this because it helps
Exactly.
recognitions and stuff. And
I think the immediate goal was to raise some funds
to rebuild the school
rebuild the school.
because of all the natural disasters.
Elementary or high school tong ano? Is it
The
ano,
kids in Catanduanes?
Yeah,
Elementary.
Elementary
When
school.
did you start this?
Last year.
Last
I
year.
started
Last
it,
year.
yeah.
And
I
you've
did some
been
research.
there.
I'm gonna go there.
You're gonna
I'm gonna
go.
go there. Yeah. I've been in
Mm.
touch with some people there, but I'm gonna go there either December in winter break or spring.
Okay. Wow.
That's
I haven't
nice.
had time
Very
to
good.
really go
That's
there.
nice.
I was gonna go there during the summer, but I had to take courses in NYU.
Mm.
So yeah. But-
NYU sa Abu Dhabi or?
No, NYU in New York.
New York.
Yeah, for 6 weeks. So,
Mm.
but hopefully this winter break would be a great experience, and
That's
I'll meet all of
nice.
them.
Very
Yeah,
good.
follow.
It's a
We've
good,
a
ano,
dream
good
project.
Dream
initiative.
project.
Yeah.
Good initiative.
Ikaw.
Yung actually yung ano
Ah.
yung
Ano?
charity mo. Gago. Sorry. Hindi ko na sabihin.
Katrantaduhan yun.
Iba pala yung charity ni Tito Luis. Iba pala yun.
Mga gusto mag-aral dyan.
Gago. Gago sabi ko na eh. Sabi ko na lang mo na sasabihin eh.
Joke lang yan, joke lang.
Madami
Ay, nako.
magpapalista dyan.
Hindi.
Yeah.
Grabe naman
oo.
yan.
Paaralin kita
College
Iha
fund.
Foundation.
MJ.
Tito Luis talaga.
So yan, that's a good yung initiative na ganyan. It's like it's like giving back to your country.
To his home.
Community. So it's like parang ano rin yan eh, parang it's like the concept of bayanihan, na? Which is very Filipino. Like
Yeah.
you're trying to help someone, some people that
Fellow
eventually,
kabayans.
It's nice.
Yeah, maybe it's also a Filipino trait then to actually go and reach
Yeah.
out to the less
Exactly.
fortunate. Because some people maybe sa other I don't know, na baka less yung concern nila with maybe in the developing world nga.
Yeah.
They don't really go for mga projects
Reach
as
outs.
young as like
Yeah, I guess siguro it has to be, it's more of a connection with, the tax as well. Kasi for them, in their minds, we're already paying taxes. So the
Yeah.
taxes are already
true.
going to, either the
Mm-mm.
homeless people or to help reach out to the less fortunate ones.
Yeah.
But it's not really the same case in the Philippines. So I guess we feel more responsible to help out as well and to reach out because we see that no one is trying.
Yeah.
Not a
Yeah.
lot of people are putting in the
Uh-uh.
initiative to do so. So it's
Right.
And
It's really
yeah,
good.
exactly because the day and age itself, kasi nga may internet na dyan, there's
Mm.
internet. And you learn a lot,
Madaling
you learn
mag-connect.
a lot of these things. You see it in the, in the web, and you hear the news.
Yeah, news. Si Tita Greta
Yeah.
Thunberg, no?
Greta. Oo
ano,
nga.
Yeah.
Oo nga.
Diba?
So as early as yun, as a kid,
Yeah,
you
because
get
you're
to change the world.
Because you become more open, because you learn a lot.
I guess it says a lot about his parents as well, how he was
Yeah.
raised. So thank you.
Props.
to
Yeah.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess on that note, speaking about parents, Tito Epi and Tito Luis as well, like for you guys, like what would be your advice to third culture kids since your own children are third culture kids?
Oh.
Yeah.
Ako may advice ako,
Ano?
magtagalog. No, because
Totoo.
Ako
because
din.
I learned it I experienced it.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Who would I ask? Who
Yeah.
would tell me
Oh.
like, okay, I didn't know. Okay, in my mind it was like, okay, learn English from the beginning of when you
Right.
Kasi naman sa
From the
Philippines, we were raised to learn English.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Kasi sabi, advantage
It's in our
daw
curriculum,
kasi.
no?
Yeah. And then
Oo.
when I realized, okay, how are you gonna speak in Tagalog now if we go back to the Philippines or we visit
Actually,
the Philippines?
nowadays yung mga nag-aaral sa Ateneo, sa Lasal, mga ganyan, they speak Tagalog
They
na
speak
talaga.
more Tagalog, yeah,
Baliktad
totoo,
na.
totoo.
Yung mga nag-aaral sa mga public school, yung mga nag-i-English yung mga gano'n.
talaga
Oo,
ba?
nakarinig ako
Hindi
ng
ko
mga
masyado.
ganyang balita kasi yung mga tita ko.
Ang balita ko naman, that parang nag-iba rin yung language kasi naging Taglish. More
Yes.
and more people
It's like that way before pa naman.
Oh,
Like,
sa
we
bagay.
can converse in English and
Tagalog.
interchangeable yung yung
Oo.
pagbanggit natin ng
Pero
Tagalog.
interesting yun na yung mga nasa
Exactly.
private schools, sila na
Sila yung
yung
nagtatagalog
nagtatagalog.
talaga.
Yeah.
I mean, Yeah.
Tito Epi, any advice?
Ayun, ako, ganun din Tagalog I
Mm.
mean, it's kasi English and other language you can easily, especially English.
Yeah. As
You
soon as
can
you
easily learn that.
go to school,
Yeah.
it's English.
Yeah, plus all of the
You can watch
movies.
Friends.
Yeah, exactly.
How to meet your how to
Oo
All
nga,
of the
daming
TV shows.
panoorin TV show.
YouTube content,
Yes.
they're all done in English, so
Yeah.
it's easier than before.
Na-appreciate ko na you introduce your kids to Pinoy culture. Like,
Oo.
I notice yan, kumakanta ng mga
Yes, oo,
Tagalog
Tagalog
songs.
yan. Oo.
And then, you have your choknat and
Yes,
your
oo.
your ice
Hindi.
candy, di ba? Sa bahay.
That's the only
Yeah.
thing we can afford kasi. That's why.
Choknat.
Choknat,
Not
choknat.
Cadbury.
Mga Cadbury. Yeah.
Mick.
Pwede rin. Bakit hindi chocobot?
May white rabbit sa bahay.
White rabbit.
Exactly.
Pwede rin chocobot.
Exactly.
And what would you say would be your advice to parents, Jacob? Like the other way around, because now we've heard about this.
Advice
Yes.
to parents.
Third culture kid.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
Like,
elaborate.
what would you advise? Like, what would you say to them? Like,
If
based
you're
on your
going to be a parent,
experience,
Yeah,
yeah,
If I was gonna be a parent,
Yeah.
If you're going to be a parent,
tell to
what,
my kids.
yeah.
yeah.
What would you do?
What would you do? What culture or what traits would you instill to your future children?
I mean, like good
Yeah.
values. I think is very important. Like the golden rule: treat the way you want to be treated. Treat the way
Wow.
What you do? Yun.
treat
Do you
people
want-
treat
do
people
what
the
you
way you
want
want to
to
be
do.
treated.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think like very good values is very important. Like my parents raised me very well. Like
Yeah.
I didn't go out as a rebel or anything
Yeah.
or like go out on the streets and everything. They kept me inside. They taught me how to like have good manners and stuff. So
Yeah.
overall, yeah, just good values in total.
But
Yeah.
is there anything particular, like Filipino traits or Swedish traits that you want to pass on to your to your kid? Like,
Be like humble. I think
Mm.
being humble is very important because like I'm a Swedish person, so I'm very like conservative. I don't like
Yeah.
to be too like arrogant. So
Mm.
I think being humble is has a significant role in myself, and I would like to give that advice to my kids. if I had 'em.
That's nice.
Yeah.
DJ.
Gigi.
My advice, I guess, would to expose your kids to more cultures out there.
Yeah.
Not just even to your own culture. Go out, go explore the world because
Yeah.
the world is only getting smaller and smaller each day.
Tama.
Tama.
So
True.
don't limit your the traits or things that you're teaching your kids to what you've learned only. There's so much more to learn out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's nice.
Galing ng kapatid ko, guys.
Galing, grabe.
Galing.
I cannot.
Galing.
Valedictorian.
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 Award na. ang tatalino ng mga guests natin.
Oo nga,
eh.
nakakatawa.
Parang what else?
Nahiya ako.
Ano na yan? Humans 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, tama.
Advanced version na yan.
Exactly. So knowledgeable
Third
and
culture
intellectual.
kids.
So, ayan. Ano?
Okay na.
I
Close
guess
na
we're
natin
good.
yung episode.
Alright.
Yeah.
Again, can you invite the
Yeah.
people on the
On your feet.
sa Facebook? Kasi
Facebook.
i-hear namin sa
should I-
YouTube.
should I plug it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright,
Invite
Um,
people there.
My Facebook page is Weave a Dream Project.
Yes.
By me, Jacob Alexander Maryland. You'll see my name there. Also, my Instagram, Weave a Dream Proj. We're almost 200 followers, I think, or 150 followers soon.
Wow.
Nice.
Buti pa siya. Buti pa siya.
And,
Struggle
to make
for
sure it's just like support the initiative. It really means a lot to me,
Yeah.
and it really helps the Philippines as a whole. So it would be great. Yeah,
Do you have, nga pala, do you have a message to your mom
my
About-
mom.
about, about being, you were raised as a third culture
Asap?
kid. Ano yung,
Asap ba to?
ano message mo sa mom mo na,
Wawawin.
Wait.
what is your message to your mom
Patayuin si
Or
mama.
habang
what?
lumaki ka?
For being a third culture kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or for raising one.
Yeah, for raising one.
I
Like,
mean, I think she did a pretty
Good
good job.
Wow.
Like she really like helped me as a person.
Yeah.
Like I said before, good values is very important.
Mhm.
I guess like not teaching me how to speak Filipino was a bad part. But, yeah, but
Yari.
maybe in the future, once we live in Philippines, I will learn how to speak Filipino.
Yeah,
but,
it's not too late.
Tita,
Yeah,
medyo
it's
sablay ka.
not too
May balik.
Yeah.
but overall, yeah, she's a great parent.
Wow,
Love your
buhay,
mom.
Tita Agnes. No? Ikaw, GJ.
DJ, do you have anything?
Message your parents.
To your sister.
Oh, to your sister. To your parents. Yeah, importante sa parents eh. What was
Yeah.
your message sa parents mo na lumaki kang third culture kid, ganito.
By the way, nanonood si Mama lagi.
Yeah.
Careful with what you're saying.
Yan. Grabe. Pwede mo na sabihin, camera lang, mo, kausap mo.
Tayo lang. Hello, mama. Nandito kami. Artista na kami.
Yan.
Message super hard. Thank you.
Aw.
Thank you for sinigang and the adobo and
The
Thank you.
bimye.
Thank you for the food. I guess
Yeah.
it's the best part.
Oo nga, no? It's the best part, no?
Actually,
Both
Yeah.
nationality. Yeah.
Mm.
What about Jacob? About food? What's your favorite for Filipino food?
My favorite,
Yeah.
I say adobo,
Mm.
but also like
Adobo
sinigang.
wings.
Sinigang is very nice.
Yes.
Sinigang.
Sinigang
The
gang.
best.
Sinigang. Sinigang.
It's good for winters.
Shout out to the gang.
Sinigang.
Exactly.
Kang maasim. Yan.
Sinigang.
Ikaw, Ja, may message ka sa parents mo?
Thank you, really.
Aw.
Aw. My parents, I would say
So
really,
sweet.
they're the best. Like,
Yeah.
when I was younger, I didn't really understand why my dad kept on insisting for us to learn Arabic. And I really not hated, but I really didn't want to speak the language.
Mm.
And every time he said that you can't speak Tagalog if you can't speak Arabic. And I'm like, why? I just want to speak Tagalog because it's easier. But now I'm so thankful that he did because it really helped me a lot, especially finding a job and trying to just be around other Arabic
Mhm.
people within the UAE. So, and to my mom as well, because she always, like as Jacob said, being humble and the traits of being a true Filipino is and being patriotic as well. So
Mm.
thank you to both of them for instilling the different cultures of being a Lebanese and being a Filipino to us. Like even if we were in the UAE, whenever we were home, it didn't mean that we would adapt to how the UAE, kids were.
Mhm.
We weren't taught to be, looking after more of the monetary aspect because that's how it
The
is in
glam.
Dubai.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
glam and the
Yeah.
glitz.
Glitz
Whenever
and
we came
glamour.
home, my parents would bring us back down to earth. Like, no, this is how we are, and it doesn't mean
You don't get
because
to have a gold
yes,
car.
exactly. You don't get to have whatever
Gold
they're
bars.
having.
Go
So
shopping.
exactly, they kept us grounded. So super thankful to our parents for doing
That's
that.
nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mama, huwag kang iiyak
Yeah.
ha.
Oh.
Mabuhay yung mga parents na nagpapalaki ng mga third culture kid. No?
Yeah.
Sila.
Yes, ikaw yun.
Ikaw yun. Mabuhay ako. Yan.
Mabuhay ka.
Mabuhay ka, hindi to Luis.
Mabuhay si Mami
Yan.
Ann.
Yan.
Shout out.
Nanay.
Mami?
Mami Ann. Yan.
Mami, ah.
By the way, thank you so much sa mga nakikinig sa Hello Mamsir Show. This is our 20th episode. Congratulations, man.
Konti na
20th
lang.
episodes. Konti na lang.
500 na lang.
Yan, congratulations. So this episode is brought to you by Anne's
Anne's
Cheesecakes, of course.
Cheesecake.
Thank you, Ann.
Yeah.
Cheesecake.
Ang cheesecake.
Yan, Anne's Cheesecake.
Lapit na mag-Christmas. Order
Yeah.
kayo.
Mas
Yes.
Masisi pa sa jowa mo. Yan.
Yes.
Yan, so this episode is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Spotify.
Google Podcasts, and everywhere you stream your podcast.
Yes.
Kung nagustuhan niyo yung video, paki-like and subscribe. And
Mm.
kung meron kayong suggestion, no? Comments or meron kayong may dadagdag sa pagiging third culture kid or lumaki kayo ng ganito din. So, comment lang kayo. Share. Oh, exactly.
Thank you for sliding into our DM.
Yeah, no, yung mga
nag-slide.
Yung mga nag-share shoutout sa inyo, yung mga nag-share sa stories, nagko-comment sa Instagram, nagko-comment rin sa YouTube. Maraming salamat po at thank you po sa mga nagsusubscribe.
Mhm.
Subscribe lang kayo. Chismis nyo na kami sa mga kapitbahay nyo at
Yes.
mga mamsers natin.
Libre naman, libreng chismis.
Libre yan,
Oo,
libre.
tsaka
Subscribe,
thank you
libre.
sa pakikinig, di ba? Isang
Oo,
oras
yun,
mahigit yun,
oo.
nakikinig
Oo
sila.
nga.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
Pag,
you.
pag nakikinig kayo ng podcast, pag naglalaba kayo, mag-podcast kayo.
Yes. Subscribe, libre din yun.
O, libre. Walang bayad yan. Next time, maniningil na kami.
Dapat lang.
Talaga ba?
And by the way, meron kaming coffee link sa bilan nyo na lang kami ng coffee, no?
Ganun ba?
May link kami sa
Coffee na lang.
Coffee na lang.
Coffee,
Bilan nyo
oo.
lang kami ng coffee.
Donation yan, donation.
Yan. In short, donation.
And for the underprivileged.
For the underprivileged people like us. From the Hellomamsir show people.
Thank you.
So ayan, this has been your favorite Tito, Epi.
Tito Luis.
Datin.
Tita Jaja.
Jacob Alexander Maryland.
TJ.
Yan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
At Hellomamsir Show. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, Mamsir! Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And please watch all of the episodes down below to watch more. Thank you. Bye!